So we are on our way now. Not sure. Wait, what? Ah!
I'm just gonna go straight in the mouth.
Neck. Ah! Wait. It feels like my lower back is burning.
Hi guys, honestly nothing like that first sip of coffee, but today I am gonna bring you on a day of finding my cycle and dealing with my acne again. Okay, that was a terrible way to put it, but if you've clicked into this video, yes, I am getting acupuncture for my acne today. So how this came about was in the last couple of months, my period has gone back to being pretty irregular, and I've seen like more of the breakouts in the chin and jawline again, because obviously they're just intricately connected, right? The body, the skin, and the mind. When things are off balance, it shows through our skin. So you guys know how much I love learning about the body and kind of seeing how our cycle, especially as like females, relates to everything like stress and sleep and mood and period pain and all of that. And so I made a booking at Within, and they specialize in traditional Chinese medicine, but making it in a more approachable and really kind of aesthetic way. Just a little background. I actually found this really cool wheel. It was in a skincare box from Rael, one of the skincare brands. What I think is cool about this, it's a movable wheel which breaks down week 1, which is the menstrual cycle, week 2, which is the follicular stage, week 3, which is the ovulatory week, and then week 4, which is the luteal phase. So right now for me, I think I should be in my luteal phase because I feel all the symptoms, you know. I get really fatigued. I'm a little bit more sensitive to my feelings. I've wanted to just be by myself and, you know, think about things. Girls, you know how it be. And I'm starting to break out a lot and I'm getting bloated. So to me, these are my symptoms. And so I think I need to get myself back into a healthy balance. Obviously a lot has been happening for me. Like I've moved apartments, like moved in with my husband. We've gone away and come back to our honeymoon in Greece. You guys saw that video and thank you for all the love. So it's been a little out of control for the last 3 months, and I think that has really reflected in my body. So we're going to get it back on track. Oh, I want to show you something else in the line of TCM because there's just so much to learn. Okay, so I wanted to show you these little tinctures that I got from a brand called Elix Healing. What caught my eye first was it was about everything menstrual irregularities. So if you have cramps, if you have hormonal acne, if you have a lack of energy, like all of this in Chinese medicine is an imbalance of the flow of energy, right? Or there's something in the blood, there's like energy in the blood that's not flowing in the right direction, and maybe it's blocked. And that could be a result of just like many lifestyle things. So I did a test. At the end, they get you to send a picture of your tongue as part of the quiz. So if you guys have done anything like urology or any of those like customized, you'll know these tests, but this one was like, send a picture of your tongue. It might sound weird, but there's a lot of information that we can tell from the tongue. And I was like, oh my God. So I sent it, here's the picture of my tongue. And basically they have specific formulations that can help with whatever you input and whatever your results turn out to be. I actually got to talk to Lulu, who is the founder of the brand, and she gave me these 3 as well. And I am so excited because they're all essentially using the herbs that TCM practitioners have used for thousands of years. So this one is the Ginger Aid, and it basically tastes like a ginger syrup. And with all of these, I love how it's designed to be used just in your daily life. So you can add this kind of syrup into your smoothie, into a tea, into, I guess, coffee if you want. I wouldn't do that. But even your yogurts and granolas and all of that, because she was saying one of the hardest things for like women to even understand traditional Chinese medicine is that it's like hard. There's a lot of barrier to entry. And I think one thing that when I was talking to Lulu about like how do we get more people like in touch and to get to want to know about TCM herbs, because you know it can smell really funky when you boil it down, it's really bitter. And she's like, honestly, that's why we created these bottles. We put a little bit of like vanilla extract in there, but also glycerin, and it just makes the whole experience of ingesting these herbs so much more enjoyable. And she was like, and one thing that I really wanted was to make people feel like they don't have to do anything differently in their normal routine. Just add one of these drops in every day, and over 1 to 3 months, so many people have actually gotten like their periods back if they haven't had it for a while, like me, or their menstrual cramping and their aches and all of that have just like subsided or considerably reduced. And all of this is just like consistency of taking these herbs every day. So I was like, sign me up. You guys know that like that is my life's goal, to make the information about this way more fun, accessible, and I think this is just like totally on brand. So I'm actually going to try some right now. Guys, it is so good. Okay, once again, it's not sponsored. I'm just so into this stuff. Do my hair, get changed. Ta-da!
Hi guys! Okay, so I am on my way to Within because I'm about a week out from my period and I've been starting to break out, especially since I got back from Greece and there's a truck. So I thought I'd give a facial acupuncture a try for my acne, because I think it's like a really interesting concept to know more about traditional Chinese medicine and their approach to dealing with our skin conditions from the inside. So we are on our way now, trying to find it. Not sure. Wait, what? No fear, guys. We are like almost here. Oh, found it. Blink. So I got to the Within clinic and sat down with Avita, and we talked about my health goals and also any issues I was going through. For me, my main concern was to find ways to balance and regulate my menstrual cycle, and through that reduce the hormonal breakouts that I have on my chin and my jaw. So we went through some details about my lifestyle habits, my stress levels, sleeping patterns, what my energy levels felt like at different times of the day, and they even find out things about your urine color or even your menstrual blood, because all of these together give insight into what's going on under the surface of our skin. And she takes all of that info to plan out what exactly she needs to do for you to focus on with the acupuncture session. So I got onto the really comfortable heated bed, and Avita started by telling me about the differences between Eastern and Western approaches to healing the body. And this was really interesting.
Eastern medicine says the same thing that Western medicine says, just using a different language. They didn't have the language that we use in Western medicine to describe what's going on in the body. So instead of saying the digestive system, they saw how the actual stomach and spleen process the foods, and they called it the spleen-stomach system. So that's like the digestive system.
This made total sense because traditional Chinese medicine has been around, if you think about it, for thousands and thousands of years, long before technology was around, and practitioners of medicine were able to feel the body and read it for any imbalances and determine illnesses before they came up.
But the organs in Eastern medicine do a lot more than just the organs in Western medicine. They have kind of personality. So spleen and stomach also deal with our thoughts and how not only do we digest food, but how we digest our thoughts, and like overthinking can cause strain on those systems. So like the digestive system, if you think about it from a Western perspective, when we're having obsessive thoughts, maybe we crave more food to like nourish our body more. So there's a lot of similarities that is explored in Eastern medicine, and it's confirmed with Western medicine, but we don't really connect the dots in the same way.
Which just tells us the insight that our body is always trying to communicate with us, but we just don't know how to interpret it. She also said in Chinese medicine, they're looking at how each organ connects with another organ. So they're not just looking at the body in isolated parts. It's about how one organ affects the other, just like how if one day I'm not feeling well or I'm feeling a little bit off and I go to work or school and my mood then affects others. It's kind of like that in my mind.
In Eastern medicine, we're also looking about how each organ connects with another organ. So not only the digestive system, but we're going to see how the liver affects the spleen and stomach. The liver in Chinese medicine also deals with stress and anger and that type of emotion. In Western medicine and in Eastern medicine, it detoxes the blood, but it also detoxes our stresses and our emotion, and it sometimes gets stuck. What we're doing with the needles is to create harmony and balance in the body. So we want to find that harmony.
All right, now let's talk about the needles. Why do they use needles? That's something that I never even thought about. So she said in simplest terms, our body is an electrical circuit, and we know from our high school bio class that our cells, our nerves, our organs talk to each other with positive and negative charges. So it makes sense to use needles, which are metal conductors, to help the blood and the qi, which is our energy, to communicate between each of the systems faster and quicker. And it ultimately helps to create change and balance in our bodies, especially if there's a specific area that's stuck. And this will be different for everyone. Then she started to feel my pulse. And this is one of the most important things because the blood and the pulse tells us everything about our state of being. And I know for a really experienced medical practitioner, all they have to do is feel your pulse for a few seconds and they can tell you about what you've been eating too much of, whether you've been on the contraceptive pill or you've come off it, or if you're pregnant, or if they can literally see your entire life just through feeling your pulse. And I was like, what? How does this happen? So Evita explains.
And I'm feeling the pulse not in the way that you feel a Western pulse, but I'm feeling more the quality of the pulse. Is the blood filling the vessel? Is it wide? Is it thin? Is it tight? Is it angry? Is it choppy? The little idiosyncrasies that is in the pulses, but I try to understand how it fills the vessel to see how your body is working underneath.
Okay, now it starts. Mind you, I am petrified of needles, petrified. So really taking one for the team here.
So I'm going to start on the left side, and we're going to come up and a circuit, and then I'm going to start on the right side and do another circuit. Okay.
Evita started placing the needles at different acupoints, starting on my left leg and working upwards toward my stomach to create a circuit from the left side. And these acupoints on the feet are associated with different organs in our bodies.
3, 2, 1. How was that?
That's fine.
So you might feel some movement or some heaviness in the area, but it's not uncomfortable, correct? So all of these are along the spleen channel, and we're doing things to nourish the body, nourish the blood, bring blood throughout the body to a certain place.
She mentioned a lot about the kidneys and spleen, and that's because in Chinese medicine, the kidneys are the holder of our essence. And when it comes to hormonal imbalance, if the kidneys are depleted or they're stressed out, it can lead to hormonal acne and other things. And so going back to the fact that it's not about the kidney, the actual kidney, it's about the personality of the kidney, what we're doing to it that could be throwing it a little bit off. One really interesting thing she said was that as we age, our hormonal acne travels from the forehead to the chin and the jawline and even neck area. So if you're a teenager and you're seeing forehead breakouts, That's pretty much equivalent to the jaw and chin breakouts when you're my age, because the lower part of our face is what's associated with our kidneys. So it's essentially face mapping, and that's just signs of the body changing as we age. So she continued to place the needles to form a circuit that leads to the stomach area, and honestly, it didn't hurt anywhere near what I thought. It's really just like a prick, but I did feel that in some locations, like on the foot, I did feel it more, like it was a little bit tender, and there was also a weird feeling or sensation of heaviness in that place when she put the needle in. And then she would create a circuit the other way from the right side of my foot.
And this last point is a very powerful point. It also goes to the face. So we had spoken about acne on the face and stuff. So it will help issues that you're dealing with in the face. And again, if you imagine that circuit one way and the other way, creating balance in the body.
The last point was at the top of my head in the scalp, and I actually didn't feel this one at all, surprisingly, but this is known as the meeting place of many of our channels, and it also creates calmness in the body and helps with circulation to ensure that our blood and our chi is again flowing throughout our body and not stagnated.
Now that we've placed all the needles in, I'm going to feel your pulse again to see how your body responded and to see if there's anything else that I need to pinpoint and pay attention to.
Then I was basically told to rest and zone out for the next 25 minutes to let the needles just do their thing and create balance. So they gave me some headphones with a soothing playlist. While I was laying there, I really didn't feel anything in particular, and I didn't even know where the needles were, which was amazing. But there were times that I would feel like a warm and grounding, almost like dense sensation, and then it would disappear. So after 30 minutes, she came back and took out the needles, and it was here that the needle on the right side of my foot was feeling really tender and sore when she took it out at the beginning. It was like there was a pressure to it, even though she was taking it out. So that was confusing, but it was, once again, nothing too bad. So as we were ending the session, I was curious if there was anything I should change, focus on, or do after the session that she would recommend.
It's not just in Western medicine, it's like your hormones are in this range and that's great, you're fine.
Yeah.
But then why aren't I X, Y, and Z? Like people get very frustrated. Eastern medicine gives us more to talk about and to find out how to find that balance. It's like trying to reach perfection. Will we ever get there? Probably not, but we can try and we can find that balance, and it's something that keeps us kind of like, it is a monthly check-in to say like, how did you do this month? Yeah. And once you become regular, you can even find out, like that's the first step. And then if you're experiencing hormonal acne or something else where it's affecting you, how was it this month? Did it change? How can I support my body more? Maybe with this type of food or that type of food or this additional supplement, whatever it is. I think of acupuncture as just more insight and becoming more aware of ourselves. All right, you are good to go. Take your time getting up and use my information. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
You too. Thank you. So I just got back home, showered. I actually got some goodies. They gave me a bunch of stuff, so I want to show you what I got from within, because there's a lot. Present time! First, we have the body cupping kit. Oh my god, okay, so I guess this is kind of like, if you go to like a Chinese place, they do it with glass cups, and they actually light the glass cups on fire. But what that really is just to create suction. So I guess they came out with a more millennial looking version. It's essentially, it looks like, I don't know what you call it. What do you describe this as? Have you seen this?
Are you summoning me?
Yeah, I need you to help me explain. They have these little silicone, what do you call them? Suction cups.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she was showing me how you do it, but like anywhere that you kind of have tense muscle, you just press into it and you leave it there.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay, so this is what, when she was putting in, that I thought was really interesting. These are acupressure ear seed kits, but they're like these little diamantes, and I've seen these on Instagram, like people doing this. And at the beginning, I thought they were just getting piercings inside their ear. I'll do a whole video maybe just using this. Or maybe I'll do it on you. Ha. Okay, and then I think you can leave now. I just needed you to help me explain the cupping thing. What is really interesting is this acupressure mat set. Very cool. It's essentially like this padded mat and also a lumbar pillow with these kind of intense looking acupressure caps. I don't know what you call it. Okay, let's give this a try on the trusty couch.
Are you comfortable?
Oh, it's pretty good. You try.
Babe, you have a thick sweatshirt.
Yeah, okay,
on.
so you try.
You can't feel it. You have to.
But that's why it feels good.
You have to put your like bare neck and head on it.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's not designed to be that like intense.
No, babe, you have to look at the instructions.
There are no instructions. Ah, instructions. Who needs instructions? We recommend using for up to 20 minutes. Okay, wait, I want to do this on the floor. Ah! Wait, that's... Okay, this is fine because it's on with... It feels like my lower back is burning.
Alright, I'll read it then. For the first few seconds, your body may resist pressure. Remember to breathe, consciously relaxing your body, letting your body get heavier into the mat. Are you breathing?
I'm heavy, alright.
As circulation increases, you may notice a warming sensation.
Yes. Oh my god, that's what I said. It's hot.
Followed shortly by a tingling sensation.
It's just hot and pain right now.
Acu-naps are also common as the mind and body both begin to relax. You may spontaneously doze off.
I don't know how to describe it. It's like I have a furnace under my back.
You have to try it like up here.
It's not bad, but I don't know if I can stay here for 20 minutes. I feel like on a pain scale, like a intense, like, because this is pretty spiky, you know? It's like a 7. But on the neck, I realize why it's not that bad, because our heads are like, they're not that heavy. You wouldn't want to accidentally step on this, to be honest. You could like put it on your chair. Anyway, just thought I'd show you guys what I got. And now we will end the night and what's left of my battery with some tea. We're going to have Artemisia tea. Artemisia is the skincare ingredient that we always have in our products. And it's from a brand called Tea Dealers. They have very legit tea that... Make sure you don't oversteep your tea or burn your tea because it'll give it a bitter taste versus a sweet floral taste. But that also depends on what tea you're using. So this one's just for 1 minute. Tea. Juice.
It's very fragrant.
晚安。